CalazCon is a show about war, obsession, colonialist occupation, and the many forms of violence those inflict. See the description for content warnings specific to this episode. Good afternoon, Specialist Tojotai.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
How well do you judge your competence?
I think I'm a fair judge of my own competence.
Good enough to go against an AV?
I have in the past, sure.
You recently displayed some unusual abilities. How did you acquire them?
Unclear. They just seemed to come to me.
You have no past experiences that might lead to an answer?
My past is checkered with incidents that I don't fully understand, but I am who I am. And whatever's happening to me, that's just what's happening.
Noted. What is your assessment of Logan suddenly?
Logan suddenly. Resourceful, duplicitous, hard target, but not impossible to overcome.
I see. Now tell me about Dr. Coppus.
Welcome back, listeners and viewers, to CalazCon, the continued adventures of pizza. This episode is sponsored by our squad sponsor, John Kings IV. In addition, if you've been enjoying CalazCon and would like to support it, head on over to our Patreon at patreon.com/CalazCon. Today, I am joined by Mark.
I'm Mark. I'm playing Topo Toxotai. We're a scout for Redacted Squad here. Super excited to get back to it. You can find me online at my last name everywhere, MAJCHER.
Awesome.
And that's it.
I'm also joined by Cole.
Hi there, I'm Cole, aka Ice Cold Brew. You can follow me at linkter.ee/icecoldbrew, where you can find all my socials, along with my tabletop talk show, Inside the Table, an RPG tabletop talk show with my co-host Marley, aka Minar Linehan. I play the head-hearty Dorian Branch, the lovable rookie who is very cold all of a sudden. Don't know if that means temperature or emotionally, but I think it's probably emotionally.
I think it's probably emotionally. I'm also joined by Alex.
Hi, I'm Alex. I'm going to be playing Laren Hetzford, our captain. You can find me at First Five on YouTube, or also First Five Review on Twitter, X, whatever the heck you want to call it. I don't really exist there that much anymore, but the page still technically is there. So yeah, have at it.
Yeah, I know that feeling. I'm also joined by Jake.
Hey everybody, it's Jake. You can find me on co-host at jpritchard. That's kind of the only place on the internet that I'm at. And I am playing Azara Sky, our sad boy infiltrator. Thanks everybody. Great to be here.
And I'm Matthew Guzdial. He, him. If you search Matthew Guzdial, you'll find me. I'm pretty findable. So, if this was an episode of TV, I think this one would actually start with a cold open. And I think it would start with a cold open of split second, late at night, heading back from another EDM rave concert thing at some underground basement deal. Clutching, of course, a box of new thumbs, excitedly, before some people who look like artists, like people at an artist alley, at like a fan convention, but brandishing knives and batons and sticks, sort of step out of the shadows and just beat them within an inch of their life. Because the Calazarian Artists Association finished out their long-term project in between our recording sessions, which means that they are punishing anyone who has been disloyal to CalazCon. So Split Second is held up in y'all's medic bay hospital thing, which usually they're working, so that's fun. Who do we think is taking care of them, since they're sort of the doctor usually?
Which one of us is the best engineer?
That's a great question. And engineering is very important when it's Split Second, who is, as a reminder, a cyborg.
I've got one. Mm-hmm.
I know I have one.
Yeah, I also have one.
Is this a tag team? Do we think it's Azara and Dorian?
Oh, that's really funny. Just like
That's
taking
really
shifts.
funny.
That's good.
That's gonna be rough for Dorian, especially coming having probably spent a week in that exact same bed.
Yeah. They cleaned out the bedding, thankfully.
I bled in that.
You did bled in that a lot. So it's been a while. I think that it might help to do a little bit of scene setting. Does that sound all right to y'all?
Yeah.
Sure.
So, as a reminder, we'll start right at the top. You all are Pizza, which is the sort of remade Zero Accountability, this sort of DFS, Democratic Federated Systems, wet work squad. Your predecessors were legendary, as was their fight against Tempestia. You all got brought back by Antonia Pye, who was a bit of a fangirl for the original Zero Accountability, and she originally set you all up to take down Tempestia here on Logel. That didn't happen.
Oops.
What you did do is you did kill 2 of her lieutenants and then capture another one, which then I believe your captain, Laren, released as part of a deal with Tempestia to work together to attempt to get more information about some sort of CalazCon superweapon. Do I have that right?
Sounds about right.
All in the game, yo.
Thankfully, wondrously, this worked out for y'all. And the thing that has been on every major news channel for the past, I'd say 24, 48 hours, something like that, is the fact that on Logel there is now a temporary ceasefire between the DFS and the Jovangelian Empire. There is shots of the legislators, our legislators, the player characters for the legislators, shaking hands with Tempestia as her Avi, the Noontide Squall, is parked outside the legislator building. It's a wild thing to see.
What's more wild is we no longer committed treason.
Yeah. Retroactively not treason.
Pre-peace.
Absolute roller coaster of emotions, and we're only halfway there.
Yeah, I was going to ask, how are people's characters feeling about this sort of revelation that this happened?
I think Laren is feeling an immense degree of relief, because I remember when we left off last time, he was outwardly shaking hands with Antonia Pye and having a lot of talks about how we weren't going to keep any secrets anymore. And suddenly, the one secret he was keeping, he doesn't have to keep anymore.
Yeah.
So he has he's wiggled his way out of a very difficult spot, and I think he is feeling the relief.
Hell yeah. How about anybody else? How are people feeling?
I think for Dorian, they're feeling a bit betrayed and a little lost now, because they're like, wait, that's the person we're supposed to kill. Why hasn't Red just shot her?
It's complicated.
Yeah, I think Topo was feeling similarly, maybe less betrayed and more confused. I think, I'm just here to follow orders pretty much while I'm kind of working on my tragic backstory, whatever. And just not knowing who to shoot is a big problem for Topo.
Totally.
Whatever. Azara is has a lot of feelings, a lot of mixed emotions. Primary of which is just pretty tired, because as far as Azara is concerned, his rival Sebriel is dead, and that should make him feel better, but it doesn't. So just I guess, sure, that makes sense. That's about as weird as all this other stuff is anyway.
So, relieved, conflicted, blasé is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Look, this is a vital strategic move to ensure that the forces of the DFS manage to maintain their foothold here.
Mm-hmm. Do you think Laren makes that case to the other 3?
Yeah, absolutely. If anybody came to him with doubts or confusion, I think he would point to his his corkboard of all the evidence they have been gathering about Project Mecha Super Arm.
Yep, that's the technical name. You got it. I can't believe that you figured it out.
Damn, impressive. Got it in one.
Yeah, Austin's going to be so mad at me that you figured out the name.
Oh, damn. But yeah, so I think he would point to all that evidence, and he would just lay it out very slowly. They're like, look, this is not a thing that's supposed to last forever. It's supposed to last long enough so that all of us don't die when some gigantic robot shows up out of nowhere and starts missiling half the city. Nothing else really matters right now. We need to set aside all of that, and we need to focus on this.
What's stopping the Jovangelians from just saying, actually, never mind. We can't really trust them, necessarily. Or maybe we can, I don't know.
Look, nobody is telling you to fight shoulder to shoulder with them. We're just being told not to shoot them while we go shoot somebody else.
Yeah, alright.
We will have plenty of time to deal with Tempestia later when we're not dealing with this new threat.
So that seemed to have helped Azara maybe a little bit.
I think Azara, under his breath, Azara would be like, you sure you want to shoot her? Hang out with her.
How about Dorian and Topo? How are they sort of feeling about this?
I think Dorian just kind of hears it and lets it roll through them and goes, all right, well, I guess those are the orders. Those are the orders. Don't shoot Jovangelians unless they shoot first, I guess.
Yeah, I think Topo doesn't really say anything outwardly, but inwardly is, I think, concerned, because Pizza is a pretty good gun. And if it's not in the right hands, Topo's been messed with before, so I think very wary about being messed with again.
Very fair. I think it's from that sort of look of unease from Topo that we sort of get a cut to the briefing room that you've been at several times before with Antonia Pye. She's been off in meetings and things like that for a bit. But she's coming back, and she says, as soon as she gets in the room, I'm sure you've already seen the newsreels, but we did it. We have an official ceasefire with Jovangel until the CalazCon superweapon is, quote, disproven or destroyed. Honestly, I can't believe we pulled it off. I can't believe Red went for it. A ceasefire with Tempestia? I never... And then she sort of catches herself and clears her throat. Now we have to pay back the good faith we've been given. Prove our loyalty, given the near treasonous acts some believe this squad employed. Looking at Topo and Dorian, and then Azara, and then finally ending on Laren. The farm upstate, our employers for the Needs Must assassination, are calling on us to take out their former squad leader. Recently defected to Calaz Clash of CalazCon, Logan Suddenly. Intel, in this case, publicly posted flyers, indicates he'll be the official Calaz Clash representative at a party held out of the Jacobs Junker Supply Depot Belladonna Rosebloom runs. Right at the tail end of the upcoming Fan Appreciation Week brought to you by Calaz Clash. If Blue Sky Endowment's botched mission and the new ceasefire haven't strained things too much, I assume you all can get tickets. Regardless of how you do it, make sure he's dead. And collect some souvenir for our farm friends. And get some revenge for Split Second as well, if you can. Oh, and while the entirety of the DFS Logel forces are digging into the superweapon, some intel on that wouldn't hurt. So that's the rundown that she gives you. Your employer this time is the farm upstate. The target is Calaz Clash. They are tier 3 strong. That is a tier higher than you all. Good luck. You're to assassinate Logan suddenly and collect a souvenir for the farm upstate as proof of his death. That's your objective. Your secondary objective is, you actually have 3. Your first one is find out which of the CalazCon squads are involved in the superweapon. You probably have some ideas on this. I can remind you, your characters have some ideas, at least even if you don't remember. 2, and how they're involved. 3, hit the Calazarian Artists Association, who are the folks that jump Split Second, if you have the opportunity. Your rules of engagement. Number 1, in a funny twist of fate, do not kill Tempestia. Rule number 2, do not attack any Jobangel units that would break the ceasefire. Self-defense is acceptable, but documentation and retreat is preferred, because otherwise you're going to create a diplomatic incident. And 3, do not reveal the ceasefire's true purpose to any CalazCon members. Notably, while the ceasefire is public, right, it's on C-SPAN, the reason for it is not. So most people don't know that this is about them sort of co-investigating this super weapon that you all have been investigating for at least the last few sort of times we've done this. I think that sort of smart people on the CalazCon side can probably figure it out, or can probably get a vibe, hey, the other 2 powerful factions in this war are now together. That's probably bad for us, but they can't know for sure. Does that all make sense? Any questions on that?
Makes sense.
So then, we have now reached the point where you all can do some gathering of information. Does anybody have thoughts in terms of what they would like to do before we figure out your approach on this thing?
So, we've got a very long grocery list of objectives here.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're gonna have to start killing multiple birds with the same stone here.
As long as one of the birds is named Logan suddenly.
and one of the birds is also not named Tempestia.
Yes, true. And then she is bird themed as well, so be careful. You'll get confused.
God, this is starting to feel like that one game where you have to be a sniper and like somebody's hiding in the middle of like a cocktail party and you got to find the right person and tag them. That's and so only them. Anyway, I was thinking maybe trying to dig up some dirt between the Calazarian Artists Association and Calaz Clash.
Oh, that's fun.
With the idea that, you know, hypothetically, maybe somewhere down the line when Logan suddenly dies, their death gets pinned on the Artists Association.
That's fun.
You know, I love that idea because I was trying to figure out how to do that as well.
Okay, I mean, I'm into this. By the way, I can throw Logan Suddenly's profile on screen. It's on screen now for those who are watching this. For those who are listening, I can say that they are sort of androgynous, you know, sort of, are they a butch lesbian? Are they just a sort of femme-looking person, etc.? Their pronouns are they, he. They're wearing a very prim and proper military uniform. They're a bit sort of a little heavy set. They've got some weight to them. Just a little bit above average, maybe is a better way to describe that. And yeah, I think that's primarily what they look like. I will say, despite defecting to Calaz Clash, which is again like it's like fandom folks, right? Like they're still going around in the military uniform. They are very military by the books kind of oriented person. Anyway, I really like the idea of going after a sort of way to pin his death on Calazarian Artists Association. How would you go about doing this, or who would go about doing this, maybe?
That is a very good question. Look, I'm just the idea guy here.
So, the Calazarian Artists Association are a propagandist kind of spies. Their whole point is to blend into the crowd and act like they are a part of the fans and franchise and love that stuff. But at the same time, their main thing is they want to protect their cover.
They're basically a wet work squad like you all, except their cover is like Artist Alley artists as opposed to bad pizza delivery people.
Not as good of a cover, IMO.
Yeah. Yeah. They get too busy with commissions.
Well, if they're anything like us, by now they've done one or two things to make Calaz Clash not like them.
True. There's also Jacob's Junkers that's involved in this too, right? Because this is where the party's being held.
Correct. Yeah. Your old friend, quote unquote friend, Belladonna Rosebloom is involved.
That's right.
Well, we do know, actually, this is just a thought that's coming to me real time. We do know their modus operandi. They just used it on Split Second.
That's true.
We could attempt to imitate it and just make it look like they accidentally went too far. and
Sure.
totally killed the guy instead of, just beating him within an inch of his life.
Oh, to be clear, they defo killed some people in the DFS.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Who were
Gotcha.
ex-CalazCon people. So yeah, I think that's a great idea.
Even better, yeah.
Dorian walking out their room, holding a box of just really shitty cosplay items they made from scratch.
That totally works. It seems like you just talked your way. You figured out as a person the answer to your own question was great. I feel like this was a discussion in character of you all just like throwing out ideas. Okay, what other kinds of information would you be interested in?
I would like to talk to Belladonna to try to get us tickets.
Yeah.
So that we have a plausible reason to be there.
I think that sounds like a consort.
I bet that does sound like a consort.
I'm going to suggest we start with the consort, which sure is you have no dice in it.
Uh-huh.
But I'm going to give you an advantage. You do have this connection with Belladonna. I'm going to respect that in the fiction, give you an advantage here for free. This is a fortune roll, as it is. If you wanted to, you could turn it into like a for real roll, which would introduce risk, but that would let you do all the regular for real roll stuff in terms of pushing yourself and getting help and so on and so forth.
Yeah. How do we feel, gang? I have no stress, so I'm fine rolling the dice, as it were, but
Yeah,
how do we feel about introducing actual...
I was just looking up how much stress I had to see if I wanted to help, and oh boy, that's more than I remember.
Yeah, same. I was like, I can help out. Oh no.
What did I do last session, me?
Well, what you did, Laren, was focus on
Let's
your
commit
conspiracy
treason.
theory board. Yeah, instead of relaxing.
Turns out that's a little stressful.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I'll turn this into a for real roll.
Hell yeah. So you're starting at 1, you're going to push yourself, so take 2 stress. Does anybody want to help Azara?
Or do you have a collateral die?
Oh, I always have a collateral die. I get to start a clock.
The truce runs out.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take that. I don't know how big the clock is or anything, but why play these games if we're not trying to introduce drama, right?
I think also Dorian would remind me one more time. What are you trying to do? You're trying to...
I'm trying to get tickets. Talk to Belladonna to get us tickets and like maybe a back entry to this party.
Mm.
Yeah, I think Dorian would probably help out with that and just try to essentially just like on top of the back entry, just kind of try and make note of what kind of outfits the catering party is wearing.
So I was going to ask, is this you're going to the supply depot to like meet up with her?
I think so. I think that seems reasonable.
Dorian's going to take 2 stress from this because you have 2 beliefs with Azara, and also can I get those 2 beliefs?
So Azara is hiding something from us, and Azara is a bullheaded, stubborn pilot who will choose his own goals over the squad.
Phenomenal. What does Dorian helping look like?
I think Dorian is just striking up conversation, kind of making it sound like they want to pick up just a little extra side gig. It's that ZipRecruiter app where you can pick up a shift at a different restaurant. Just like, yeah, I'm just trying to get around the fees for that and, pay me under the table and nothing new.
Cool.
Jesus.
Okay, so let's go through this. I was giving you 1 to start with because I was being nice, but then you pushed yourself, that got you to 2. You got a collateral die that got you to 3. And then Dorian was helping, which gets you to 4 and improves your effect because it's 2 benefits and you can't take them both in dice. So I think that's 4 controlled great.
Wow.
God damn. We might get so many tickets we can bring +1s.
Yeah.
That's a 6.
Nice.
Love to see it.
Well done. So let's start you all off at what the Jacobs Junker Supply Depot looks like now. They're in the midst of getting ready.
I was going to say, it's green.
It's sort of green. You'll note this is me having obviously just scribbled on with a semi-opacity thing. What actually is happening here is it's the same giant warehouse from before, but there's some sort of interesting like holographic green shifting thing being projected on it or like from the walls or something. You're not really sure which. It's sort of mesmerizing to look at. The sort of thing that you might see in like an airport along a walkway or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
As you're walking up, you can see that a whole bunch of people, in fact, everybody, as far as you can tell, is outside getting ready. This is not a inside sit-down type dealio. This is an outside party. Now, Azara, if you didn't succeed on this, I was going to tell you what kind of party it is. I would like you to tell me what kind of party you think that Belladonna would be running.
Oh, great question. I think it's like, okay, the image that I had in my head was like the scene at the beginning of Blade.
Yeah.
Like an underground kind of gothy techno vibe.
Blood rave. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe not actually a blood rave, but it could any moment. And I think there's like,
you never know.
Again, this is a CalazCon thing, so there's like, you know how sometimes when you go to like trendy bars or breweries, they'll project like just a TV show on the screen or something?
Totally.
It's like that, but it's a bunch of like CalazCon anime and
hell yeah.
Like it's being projected all over, and there's no real rhyme or reason to it. It's like very maximalist.
Hell yeah, I love that. That's great.
They got the AMVs on.
Yeah,
Mhm.
So it's that. They're setting that up, but outside. So it's a whole bunch of like, obviously this like new weird holographic thing on the walls of this supply depot is part of it. But they're also setting up just like a whole bunch of like holographic screens all over the place. There's like places where they're setting up bars. There's places where they're setting up those little like tables that you can sit at. They're basically changing the parking lot. You see them like repainting the parking lot into like what's gonna be a dance floor. Like they're just painting over the places where people are going to be parking, and like they're not going to worry about that. That's for later for them to deal with. So I think that's the vibe, and I think you come up on Belladonna, who is supervising, right? So she's like going up to these people who are like painting and they're just painting with like the regular parking lot stuff. So it's not like cool colors as the dance floor. It's just like parking lot colors.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, not like that. What are you doing? And then she spots and goes, oh, Zara. Finally, somebody competent.
Hey, what's going on? Give her a hug.
Yeah. She gallows you back, big squeeze.
You remember Dorian? Dorian, Belladonna. I think you all have met at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, howdy.
Yeah, you came to that bar. We were throwing hatchets.
Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
We got to get back there sometime. Sort of like gestures around. It's quite a party you're throwing.
Yeah. This fan appreciation week. It's a pretty big thing. I was saying somebody competent. I know you're no longer working for me, but are you interested in a little bit of a side gig?
I mean, what do you got in mind?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, we just need all the help we can get. This thing's a lot going on. Somebody just crashes and a whole bunch of like alcoholic beverages hit the parking lot hard and shatter behind her. She just goes, shit! See what I mean?
Yeah, damn. Yeah, I mean, I got a few folks that I bet could help. Who are you paying? Who's paying?
That's the thing. CalazClash is paying.
No shit. Okay.
Whole big fan appreciation week, and they're sponsoring a whole bunch of parties all over the place.
Damn. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I gotta check with my team, but I think we should do a little contract work on the side.
Hell yes.
Oh, yeah.
That would be so helpful. I really appreciate it.
Also, I think I'd lower my voice a little bit so that Dorian can't quite hear me, although I'm still making sure he can definitely still hear me. Look, between you and me, Dorian's like a huge fan of CalazCon stuff. So this is like a really big deal. Are there any like VIP people that are going to be here, or like any like CalazCon people? Like it'd be so cool if we could like, again, I don't want to do it. I don't want to embarrass them or anything, but like if I could hook it up, I think they'd really like it.
Yeah. I mean, so there's actually a few. It's funny you say that. So we've got Fuel and Fire, DJ Fuel and Fire. You heard of him?
I can't say that I have, but sounds pretty good.
So he's one of the early birds, kind of a weirdo. Always
Sure.
has this like panda head on. I don't really know what's up with that. Anyway, he's going to be DJing.
Okay.
The cool thing about it is he is terrible at music. So what he does is he just pays other people, like commissions other people to like make music for him. Which is nice. You spread the love in the community, all that shit. Then there's also going to be Kill a Queen. Oh, you've actually seen already. She like points to the green thing. She's in the Calazarian Artists Association. She did all this. She actually came recommended by CalazClash, if you can believe it. She's going to be handling all the holographic projections, all that stuff. I think it's some sort of like pro-war artist statement or something. And like it's green because like capital or something. I don't really get it. It's not really for me. And then I guess, there's going to be Logan Suddenly, who, I don't know about that. But he apparently defected from y'all, from the DFS.
No shit, really.
Yeah, now he's working for CalazClash, but like they wanted him as like a representative. There's going to be some big thing they want him to do or something at some point in the evening. I don't really know what that is about. But anyway, they're paying. They can have whoever they want come to the party.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds great. If, again, between you and me, like, DFS, CalazCon, like, whoever that, I don't know who that Logan, you said Logan Lucky? Logan Suddenly. Logan Suddenly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll try to introduce Dorian to them because, DFS, CalazCon, they can nerd out over that stuff. That'd be great.
Hell yeah, sounds great. Really appreciate it.
Sort of looks over at you, Dorian, and is like, so, you think we're all good here? Out of character. Cole, do you want to ask any other questions while we're here?
I think I was trying to think about that, but the more they're talking about Logan suddenly being here and being sponsored by CalazClash, now Cole, the player, is going, what if they're just... Actually, Dorian would probably have this just like offshoot tangent thought because he's been hanging out with the captain too much. What if they're just putting Logan out here to be a target?
Then I guess everybody goes home happy this time.
Yeah. But if this is the warehouse outside, where's the venue gonna be at?
Oh no, this is it, right? It's gonna be just outside, like in this parking lot, right? Like here on the left is where all of this stuff is happening right now.
How are you going to make sure people don't sneak into the warehouse?
She gives you a look like...
I mean, I'm not going to sneak into the warehouse. I'm just saying, I did this for a living.
The look is... Yeah, I think for a moment there's a little bit of like, why would you know to worry about that?
Yeah.
And then she goes, okay, yeah, of course. And she says, I wouldn't worry about that. Big shipment went out just a little bit ago. Warehouse is basically empty right now.
Huh.
Cool. So even if people sneak in and like make out or whatever, it's not a big deal.
I mean, we might put some couches or something in there,
Yeah. Oh, cool. All right. Let me go back to talk to my folks. Let me go talk to my team. Let me go talk to my parents who are dead. Let me go talk to my team. I think things are a little slow. I bet we could use some extra cash, but on the off chance that they say they don't, they're not interested, like, do we need tickets to come here, or is it just like open to everybody?
Azara, I've got you. You can bring as many people as you want.
Thank you so much, Belladonna.
Yeah, anytime. Okay, now I seriously have to go deal with this. They dropped so much alcohol on the ground back there.
Good luck. We'll
I'm
see you soon.
kind of smelling over here. You could smell it real bad. It's gonna get right into the concrete.
Yeah, okay. Good roll. So to be clear, there were sort of a few people of interest that she mentioned there. There is DJ Fuel and Fire, who obviously is going to be DJing. There is Killa Queen, who is from the Calazarian Artists Association. And she is there doing some sort of like installation art / pro-war piece, question mark, and handling the holo projection stuff. And then, of course, there's going to be Logan Suddenly as the CalazClash rep. And Belladonna mentioned that like he'd be making some sort of announcement or something as like Calaz Clash sponsoring the
Right. They're going to be in some sort of like appearance or speech or something.
Exactly.
And DJ Fuel and Fire, was that the Panda Head one?
Yeah, that's the Panda Head one.
And they're not associated with the guys who jumped Split Second, right?
I mean, Split Second is out. Split Second is like level 3 harmed up.
Yeah.
So they're not giving you a lot of information. But you were going to guess. Well, so, DJ Fuel and Fire is early birds. Not
okay,
related.
got it.
You could Google these people because they're like VIPs. So like this is here's DJ Fuel and Fire. Here's their panda head. They are in fact just sort of a dead mouse ripoff, but with a panda head. Here's Killa Queen, who is this white blonde lady with this sort of like green mask on that's sort of got like a camo print on it. And is otherwise wearing sort of a fairly revealing top and some camo pants, but you can't see that in this profile image. The distinction is early birds are not artists, which is why DJ Fuel and Fire just buys all of his music. But the Calazarian Artists Association actually has to pretend to be artists in addition to doing wet works shit.
Right.
And it was also revealed that whatever was in the Jacob Junker warehouse is no longer there.
Oh, yeah, that got shipped out.
Cool. Go back to base. So do you guys want a part-time gig or?
Do y'all feel like you have enough info at this point to be able to do the thing? Or do you feel like you need to do more gathering information first?
Well, what kind of work is Belladonna putting us in charge of?
I mean, y'all got a 6. So you have a lot of flexibility here. I think the easiest thing would be, given Azara's background, to like for y'all to be security. But she made pretty clear they just need help with whatever. So I wouldn't make you roll if it was like, we want to be staff, we want to be cleaning stuff up, we want to be working the bar, etc. Right? If it's going to be something like, we want to be doing AV or something, like you might need to do an additional roll for that to convince her of that. But otherwise, I think you have whatever plan you all want, basically.
I mean, if we want to work security and say, like, we want to work security for Logan suddenly, that might put us in a pretty good position there.
It also puts us in a pretty good position to take a lot of heat when they're dead.
Yep.
I was thinking, like, we could split the group up a bit, some people are doing load-in, some people are taking care of bar, some people are, the people walking around with, like, trades and such, and other people are, like, doing load-in, load-out. When we come back to the meeting room, I kind of want to bring it up with the squad of just, do you think it's kind of too obvious that Logan's being put in front of a lot of people after they very obviously defected, and now we have this truce going on? Also, we stole info from them. Like, y'all remember that?
Yeah. Sorry. I should have brought this up. Azara, when you first saw Logan suddenly, you recognized that face, but not that name. Do you remember the very first mission when you went up against Needs Must? Do you remember how you palmed some information off of the head of the farm upstate?
Yeah.
At the time, they were going by Willie Whitsend Mekawala.
So good.
Yeah, Logan suddenly is an improvement, for sure.
Yeah. I think Azara has that realization, like, in this room, like, that's how I know that person.
I thought you're like, oh, how do I know that? Hold on.
Our nemesis only multiply.
Yeah, that guy literally was a pushover. Like, you literally pushed them over to get that stuff.
Yeah.
In terms of them being bait, I guess my question would be like, to what end?
Yeah.
Captain, I've been hanging around you too much. Now I'm seeing conspiracy theories everywhere.
No, you might be onto something. My only thought is, if they are dangling them out for some reason, it's probably not to catch us, right? Like, I mean, we're suspicious. There are a lot of people at this point that know we're a little bit more than we let on. I don't think anybody's actually gotten to the bottom of it yet. I don't think any, this racehorse still has some legs on it.
Also, another thing I want to pitch. So, DJ Fuel on Fire, that is just a regular panda helmet mask that the DJ is wearing.
Mm-hmm.
If we're going to work security or load in or whatever, extra boxes here and there, one of those boxes happen to have a few extra panda masks.
Yep, exactly.
Oh my god.
Couple bonus disguises, and then, not only do we get the early birds caught up in killing Logan, but also the early birds, while you run through the warehouse, while you looking at looking through all of our records for a big shipment.
So you want to pretend to be the early birds?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of different ways we can do this.
It's as good of a plan as any.
Did you ever play that game Assassin Man?
Okay, I'm gonna cut it there. I think there's a lot of variations of this that we could do. I think that the general idea of you all taking different positions at this party is a good one. I think that some of this in terms of if y'all need to set up, hey, we had these panda masks the whole time, right? That could be a flashback. Y'all could also roll for it now, potentially, if you wanted to. But I think that some of this you can figure out sort of as the party goes on. Unless there's more info you all think you need, I think we can start moving towards the engagement roll.
I'd kind of still like to see if perhaps we can get Memo to tap the communications between Callous Clash and the Artists Association.
What does that look like? Is this just something that in this meeting hall, Laren's like, hey, can you handle this?
More or less. Give me those photos of Spider-Man.
Okay, I think then to me that sounds like you are commanding Mem.
All right.
Which gives you 2 dice. I think this is just a fortune. No, she could get found out. This, I think, might be risky to try. Here's what I'll say. There's 2 versions of this you can do. One version of it is the fortune roll version, which is she's going to monitor communications, but it's largely going to be unencrypted public communication.
Yeah.
The risky version is if you go deep and you want the secret shit. Does that make sense?
We should get the deep secret shit. we might even get lucky and already check off one of our secondaries and see if the Artists Association is involved with the big project.
So that's 2 dice to start with. You got risky standard as your position in effect.
Yeah.
You are pretty high up on stress.
I am, but this is so juicy. It feels worth spending stress for.
Okay, you want to push yourself?
I was going to say, do you want to ask someone to help out?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, I'm looking at my belief with Laren, and I do want to help.
Uh-huh. You want to read it for the class?
Okay, so I have 2 beliefs with Laren, which is, 1, I have to keep an eye on him. I know his secret.
Mm-hmm.
And the second one is, Laren does things unilaterally, but the consequences affect us all. I'll protect him despite my best judgment.
Hell yeah.
Oh. Yeah, if you want some help, I'll help you.
Okay.
Awesome.
Love that. So that's 2 stress for you, I think?
Sure is.
Okay, but 2 benefits on Laren's end. So I'm going to guess that's going to be a dice and improved effect, or do you want reduced difficulty?
I do like the idea of improved position.
Okay. So then in that case, that sounds like it's going to be controlled standard. I guess you're at 3d6. Would that help? Oh, and you pushed, so that's 4d6. And then do you want a collateral die?
What would the collateral die be?
Oh, remember that clock that I started?
Yeah, that one.
I just get to tick it just once.
This is the one that's at
Nope.
2? Oh.
It's off screen right now.
Oh,
do we know how large the clock is?
Yeah, it's 6 steps.
It's 6 steps. Okay. I think I am going to stick to 3 dice, so I won't push myself and I won't take the collateral.
Okie dokie.
And yet he will take the help. Unbelievable.
I'm going to get more benefit from the help.
True.
That's a 6.
The gamble paid off.
That's right.
Let's go.
Okay, so let me ask you an important question. Do you think this is more Mem trying to get things from the early bird side or from the CalazCon Artists Association side?
From the CalazCon Artists Association side.
So you immediately get the hit list, right? Of these are all of the agents, all of the people who are deemed to be disloyal to CalazCon, to the Exodus Republic. They're not a republic. Exodon. Anyway, who are deemed to be disloyal and so were grounds for, retribution. There's a couple interesting names on there. Belladonna and Bank are both on this list, but they are marked as sort of secondary targets. They are not primary targets, unlike Split Second, who is marked as a primary target. There's also the case that Logan Suddenly is on this list, but is similarly marked as a secondary target. And there's a little asterisk on that file to be hold on, what's the deal with this person? They just betrayed DFS to join us? What's happening? Can somebody talk to somebody in charge? What's going on? The other thing that you get is that the CalazCon Artists Association is also trying to figure out what's going on with Operation Giant Super Arm, whatever the hell you all just said. Because they've noticed that Calaz Clash and Jacob's Junkers are up to something, and they're not even sure who else is involved. But they know at least those two are, and they're trying to figure it out too. But on their side, it's less of a military or political intrigue, and much more fandom squee, oh my god, I can't wait to find out what they're up to.
Jesus.
Oh man.
There's still CalazCon people, even if they're a Wetwork squad.
That's so funny.
And then you were specifically interested in communication between them and Calaz Clash, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you see that CalazCon Artists Association has actually been hired out to do a lot of parties throughout Logel, sorry. Every major party, and there's a ton happening this week. This is a full week of parties, has at least some CalazCon Artists Association operatives working there. That's why there's only one of them at this party.
Interesting. So they're drawn thin.
They are. It's almost like that was what somebody was trying to do. I think Laren, with a strategic eye, maybe Mem suggests this, I don't know. You can tell me. But I think either one of you could recognize that, it seems like they're spreading them out on purpose.
Interesting. Another bullet point, or another, what do you call it? Little thumbtack put into the corkboard. Yeah, I think Laren takes all of this information, and there's just a scene where everybody's in the office doing their own information gathering stuff, and he just busts in with all the memos in his hand, is just holy shit, we just hit a gold mine. All right, folks. I know we've already got a pretty long list of things to do here, but we might have just gotten a whole nother thing thrown on top. And I think he starts by just tossing down the kill list with Belladonna and Bank on it.
I think Azara looks over at Topo. You see this?
Mm-hmm. Doesn't seem good.
Amateurs.
Is our target on their list as a secondary target? Is that what I saw?
Yes.
So we should just pretend to be the Artists Association then, huh?
Yeah, I don't see why we shouldn't.
Yeah.
Well, actually, wouldn't it be more beneficial then to capture Logan? If they want to kill him, maybe we should change up the order and not kill him. Instead, grab him, lock him down, ask him a few questions.
And then kill him.
And then kill him.
I was say, definitely got to kill him.
I mean, does was it the Farm Upstate are the ones that hired us?
Mm-hmm.
Do they have any opinions on whether we're the ones that kill them, or whether we just deliver them to be killed?
Totally.
They want a trophy, right? So we can deliver a trophy one way or the other.
Your objective is to assassinate them, right?
Yeah.
I would have you fail this objective if they aren't dead at the end of this session, right? That said, There's nothing saying that you can't talk to them first.
Okay.
I would also say that, like, the reason why that's the objective is because, as Antonio Paya is saying, this is a little bit of a, like, prove your loyalty test for pizza.
Right.
Makes sense.
So let's just get in there and shoot him.
I love it.
All right, but look at the rest of this list. We have two very important people that we know were working on this whatever super project that's been going on. And we have a smoking gun to convince them that it's in their best interests to work with us and tell us everything they know.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me. Anybody else need any info?
You know, I had a thought, and I really want to see if I can get the names of people who have bought tickets and see if there are people who are familiar on there, maybe from the Bastardos or from the Early Birds or from any other squad, or worst case, from the Jovangelians, and we gotta keep an eye out from them.
Sure. Yeah, totally. I like this. If you're going to be, like, working the ticket counter, I think this becomes a really easy thing to get.
Yeah, I think that might be a good idea. Just checking off names and such, and then, hey, I had a really bad slice of pizza. I gotta step away for a bit.
Right.
Oh, are we at the night of now? And this is like you're doing this as everybody else is getting ready for the job?
Yeah, I think that might be the way we do it if no one else has it, because I was thinking of doing it as a gather information role, but if it's better to do in the moment, then let's do it in the moment.
It's completely up to you. I think you totally could do it as a gather information role. It's just the stepping away as the pizza thing made me think that, like, this was happening. This is happening live. I'm not going to take away some free rolls from you. I think it's just a fortune roll, honestly.
Okay.
So you'll get something even on a fail here, but you'll get better information on a success. I think it's just a survey. You're just, like, flicking through pages.
Perfect. I have 1 in that.
Okay, give me a 1 in survey.
Can I have a quick collateral die?
You can, but that will introduce risk, because now this isn't just a fortune roll.
That's true. But I get XP if I get a collateral die.
Well, how about this? What if this is a cool Ocean's 13 flash forward flashback thing? You are in, the party is happening, there's music, DJ Fuel and Fire just yelled out, and this is from my boy, Mark Progress. He entitled this track, Remembrance! And then, like, music starts playing, and he's just sort of dancing at the DJ booth, like, not doing anything. And there's, people dancing, there's, like, lights flashing, AMVs are being projected. Prior years, like, Calaz Clash, like, live-action LARP is being shown.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I can go back to that gather information role. I forgot one of my abilities called Watch the Kid. When you push yourself in addition to the normal benefits, you can do one of the following. Roll dice equal to your connection ticks with another pilot instead of an action. Reduce the cost by 1 stress. I have 2 ticks in everyone right now. I've been doing really good about asking you guys to hang out with me and be a friend. I'll just lean on that connection of Laren, because I imagine I'm trying to get this information to Mem.
Okay, and you're interested in a collateral die still?
No, I'm no longer interested in collateral die.
Oh, man. All right, roll your 2 dice. Do your survey. This is now risky. Oh, great. Awesome. We're going to hold off on those consequences, because that's going to happen as soon as we start, and we'll do after the engagement roll. I'll get to drop those consequences on you.
Awesome.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, you know who's at this list, and you even knew ahead of time. Who was on there were mostly the same names that you knew from before. There's one extra person there, which is Barrett, Topo's friend.
Hey.
Yeah. Barrett appears to be there working security as, like, the personal bodyguard for Fuel and Fire. And mostly other than that, there's, like, a whole bunch of, like, randos. I've just put a whole bunch of, random people on here. And then there's a name that you spot, Dorian, which immediately makes you go, maybe I need to talk to Zara, because you see the name Sebriel on there. And, you knew Sebril was a big fan, right, of CalazCon stuff. So possibly, this was just a pre-humanist. Wait, yeah, sure. Before he died, that he bought tickets, right? That's possible. But yeah, maybe worthwhile just keeping an eye out. Anyway, is there anything else that y'all feel like you need before we actually figure out what this engagement role looks like?
I think I'm good.
Yeah.
I have sufficiently set the bar at very low.
It'll be fine.
Topo would have a gather info still to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure we need any more, though. I think we've got what we need.
In that case, I think the approach sounds to me like y'all are going stealth, right?
I think more deception. Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're not sneaking in.
No, you were definitely not sneaking in. You've been invited in. Speaking of, who's working where? And also, is anybody just at the party? And what's your party outfit if you're at this party? And also, what's your outfit even if you're not at this party? Because there's not like a uniform when you're working here. So Dorian, we already know, is like working admissions, basically.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. I already found my outfit immediately. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull up the image.
Ooh.
And I think I have a matching mask somewhere. Or not a matching mask, but a heat mask.
Jeez, that's very fancy. You look like a Destiny character. Can you describe this for people who are just watching audio-wise?
Yeah, so I'm going to start at the gloves. It's going to be white gloves with long sleeves. The sleeves at the wrist tighten and then they cuff out. So there's a lot of space around them. And it goes all the way up to the shoulder pads, which are gold tinged with about like an inch of gold around them. On the, what would be Dorian's left-hand side is a blue fabric going across this white coat, essentially, that buttons at the center where, but right beneath it at the torso are like buttons with the lined buttons that you see on like a British captain's uniform, going down to a gold belt. It's a high collar as well. And then you go to the gold belt, and then moving on, you have white pants and a, like these blue kind of half cloak that you wear around the waist, kind of like a reverse kilt in a little bit. That's the best way I can say it. And there's a mask that goes with it. And this is actually supposed to be a character from one of the past seasons of CalazCon. Like one of the very... Yeah.
Would it be possible for me to be put on security for Killer Queen to kind of mirror my buddy?
Of course. Yeah. Totally.
Question number 2. What was Split Second wearing when he got jumped?
They were wearing their typical outfit, which is the
silver.
Their weird doctor's outfit, and then also their head, which is a vacuum cleaner, sort of.
Yep. I think that's my costume.
Oh my god, you're dressed as Split Second?
Yeah. Oh my god.
Incredible.
Really nice.
Just staring down Killer Queen.
Yeah, Topo's real unhappy about that.
Yeah, I bet. Killer Queen does not get it at all.
Yeah.
Killer Queen has zero reaction here. She's just
that's
like,
fine.
What are you supposed to be? You're so funny.
I just make up a name and make up a season.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Oh, yeah.
I totally remember that. She says.
Yeah, shame how they died.
Uh-huh. As far as you can tell, there's nothing in between her ears.
Yeah, that's great.
You're not sure if this is like cover for like someone who's like deeply intelligent, or if this is everything that you're seeing. How about Laren and Azara? What are y'all up to?
I just put a picture of what Azara is wearing in the chat, which is from the Mole ' narration Fall Winter 2022 line. Ooh. I'm going to describe this, and I'm going to have a caveat to what this picture actually looks like. With the overall statement that Azara is trying to dress, is trying to wear something a little slutty to impress Belladonna.
Awesome.
So this is it's an all black outfit,
Uh-huh.
except for it's sort of a cropped blazer, sort of cropped at like the waist.
Uh-huh.
It is outlined with sort of like a whitish, purplish. It's sort of like paint. I'm not quite sure what it actually is.
It's like somebody
Like an
put
airbrush,
this.
kind of.
It's like
Yeah.
somebody put this suit in Photoshop and then used outer glow purple
Mm-hmm.
and like jacked it like way up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only addition that I would have to this is that I, much like Timothy Chalamet wore a jacket with no shirt underneath it, I have a shirt underneath it, but it is very low. There's a lot of chest showing. And I will be working just general security, I think, walking around.
Totally. That totally works. Okay, and then Laren.
All right, so we got 2 people on security so far, right?
Yep, one person taking tickets, Dorian, and one person just like working the crowd. To explain what's going on here a little bit, you know how some parties, in particularly like cyberpunk video games, when they're trying to like be representative strippers but not actually strippers, will have like a raised platform with like a dancer on it. They have that, but it's an Avi.
That's so funny.
Who's like dancing in the middle of this.
Oh, I thought for a second the Avi was the platform they were dancing on.
No, the Avi's the dancer. The Avi is doing like Fortnite default dances.
Someone doing the Blade Runner 2049 thing of just like looking up at the Avi in the middle.
I was gonna say, yeah, that really does add to the effect of this booming bass when the actual Earth starts shaking to the beat.
That was their idea. Another thing to note here, Laren, before we get your answer, there's these sort of blue pylons on the edges of this map. Those blue pylons, you were told, as part of like a debriefing with everybody else working as staff for the night, they're basically set up to keep Avis out. So like an Avi can't go through those.
Interesting. Like they've got like some like electromagnetic thing going between them, like a fence.
Exactly.
Okay.
It does like an EMT effect. You can hit any Avi hits that, and all their systems get turned off.
Interesting. Okay. Well, speaking of Avis, one thing I did want to mention is I would love to have my hummingbird, my giant plane, in the sky above,
Totally.
on reserve.
Yeah. We'll put
with-
Hummingbird up here so we remember.
I have no idea if this is ever actually going to be relevant, but it makes both me and Laren feel a little bit more comfortable that it's right up there.
Totally.
And honestly, it's got the ship catapult, so like,
Oh, yeah.
if things go real south, I can even deliver somebody else's RV.
Yeah. Everybody else's Avis. Cool. What job is Laren taking, or is Laren just at the party?
I think maybe I'd like to be in the kitchen.
Oh, sure.
My first choice was security, but I think we've got that cornered. So I think, yeah, I'd like to be in the kitchen.
Sure. So there's the way that the kitchen's set up here is that you see these like ramshackled things here. These are different bars where you can also grab like little things to eat as well. It's part of the aesthetic is they're set up to look like they're thrown together, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what's actually happening here is that backstage in the supply depot, there's an actual like fully working kitchen. And that's
good.
where, they're getting all the food in from. So do you want to be there?
Yeah, I like that idea.
Okay. Sounds good. So I'm going to put Laren back here over with the hummingbird just so that we remember what's up with that. But, if we need to flash over to the kitchen, we will do so.
We should say out loud what we're all bringing in for load as well, too. And it seems, yeah. I know I picked medium, and I think a few others did.
Yeah, I'm just going medium.
I'm acting as security. It wouldn't be that crazy to be heavy, would it?
No, I don't think it'd be that crazy.
Yeah. I'm going to go
want
heavy
you to
just
be-
on the off chance.
I just want you to be extra secure.
Yeah, I think if Dorian or Laren goes heavy, that would be a problem. You'd lose a die here.
Sure.
I'm going to be light.
All right, so engagement roll time. Is the mission bold? Yes. As far as I can tell, you are going to wait for Logan suddenly to arrive and then murder him. Mm-hmm. Is the mission especially complex? No, I don't think so. Does the mission exploit the target's vulnerabilities? I mean, he's out in the open, and they typically aren't. So yeah, I'll give you a +1 there. Is the mission's tactic ineffective? No. Is the squad receiving external support for the mission? Did you? I guess you got Belladonna's help, so I'll give you that. So that's 3 dice. Is anyone interfering with the mission other than the target? Yes, so you're back down to 2. Are there any other factors affecting the mission? So yes, you're going up against someone of a higher tier. So that's actually going to make you lose 1. Oh, but you start with 1 for plain old luck. Apologies. So you're going to be at a 2d6. Who would like to roll this engagement roll?
Not me.
How about Topo? Topo should do it because Topo didn't roll anything yet.
Yeah, let's do it.
That's a 5. So you're starting in a risky situation. So let's talk through what happens here. It's the night of the party. It's exactly as described, right? There's thumping bass. DJ Fuel and Fire keeps on yelling out the credits for each person who he commissioned to do the music. These different holographic displays are like displaying a whole bunch of cool shit. You all are moving through the crowds. The crowd's much thicker than like I've represented here, right? This is for abstraction if people are watching. You know, things are kicking off. It's like early evening. The sun is starting to go down. Like maybe the sun's just gone down, right? Something like that. There's just a little bit of light left in the sky. And it's at this point that the Avi of Logan Suddenly arrives at the sort of edges here. Logan Suddenly's Avi is the Highwayman, which is not an Exodun or DFS Avi. It looks like a Knights Templar. It's because it's actually from one of the unseen factions here, the weird sort of religious-y one. That park's just outside because Logan suddenly knew about the whole fence situation, and they disembark. They step up to you, Dorian. They hand you the little ticket. They look around with some distaste at the events. And then, Dorian, your 2 consequences kick. Immediately, Topo, assumably you all are talking to each other in some way. Mm-hmm. Topo, you lose sight of Killer Queen. Mm-hmm. You are certain that you had exactly where she was a moment ago. You were certain that she displayed no skill for stealth. She is gone. The second thing that happens is that all of the holographic screens start fritzing, start like showing errors all at the same time and sparking. I'm going to start a new clock. This is not the clock that I started earlier thanks to Dorian, but a brand new one. It's just a 4-step one. And I'll even tell you the name of this one. This is All the Holographic Displays Explode. You 4, I think, have a bad... 3 of you. Laren's inside. You 3 have a bad feeling about this, but like nothing is clearly wrong yet, except Topo, the target you were shadowing is gone.
Yeah, and as soon as that happens, I'm on the cops with everyone to say, like, lost Killer Queen. Don't know if she vanished in the shadows or cloaked or teleported away. I don't know.
Yeah. What do y'all do? Who acts first?
Yeah, since I know that they're also targeting our boy, kind of casually, briskly walk in his direction, keep an eye out to see if I see Killer Queen pop up anywhere.
Totally. That makes sense. This sounds to me like a survey roll.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Risky standard to start.
Risky standard? I think I'm just going to go with the 2 dice. I don't think I need to fiddle around with anything there.
There's our 6.
Go!
Bam.
Very nicely
That's what I'm good
done.
at.
Yeah, so you spot it, right? What happened here? She's like a hologram whiz, right?
Right.
So what happened here was she just activated like a personal hologram projector that basically gave her like an invisibility cloak, functionally. Right? She has like active camo, like Ghost in the Shell style camo. But like just like in that show where if you're paying attention, you can see the blurring.
Get the ripples on the outside.
Exactly. So you can see her. And yes, she is heading towards Logan suddenly, but not with the route that you'd think. So she suddenly got from here, where you were with her, all the way down to like here by this holographic display. And she seems like she's fiddling with it. You can't tell exactly what she's doing from where you're at, but you know exactly where she is.
All right, and I relay that to the team.
Excellent. I would like to do the same thing that she just did, because I also have a Ghost in the Shell optical camo.
Hell yeah. That can just happen, right? You don't need to roll anything to activate it.
I'll just declare that.
Yeah, so that just happens. You also go Ghost in the Shell mode, disappearing. What's your intent once you're disappeared?
I think I'd like to bump into her to kind of like distract her.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. Bump into her. Okay.
Yeah, what's the bump skill?
Yeah. Why didn't Austin add a bump skill?
Come on.
Here's what I'll say. I'll say that if you want to bump into her in such a way that like she's not going to know who hit her, but she is going to get nervous. Like if the effect you want is, oh, somebody is here with me, I can't see, then that I think is going to be a prowl. If you want it to be a bump into her just to distract her and like, oh, maybe somebody in the party hit me, maybe I should like move to a different one of these holographic displays for whatever secret thing I'm doing, then I think that could be a finesse.
And my position's the same regardless?
Correct. It'd be risky standard regardless.
I think I'll go with the prowl for now. I think I don't think I want to. I'm also a little bit better at prowl, so.
Totally. So you're just going to roll it flat? You looking for help? You're going to push yourself, etc. You want a collateral die?
I mean, if you got a collateral die, let's hear it.
Yeah. Just let me tick this clock that's 2 out of 6 one more time. That's nothing. 2 out of 6?
Then it would be 3 out of 6, which is halfway there.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's true.
One desperate consequence away from filling.
Oh, who could say that? That's fine.
I think I'll just take the 2d6. If anybody wants to help, that's fine, but I'm also cool with just rolling this.
I'm not sure how somebody would. You're invisible bumping into another invisible person.
Yeah. Ooh.
I mean, Mem...
I say out loud.
I can see how Mem could help by, like, attempting to, like, scan and, like, give an outline of the target, basically.
Uh-huh. And how much stress do you have left, Larry?
Yeah, that's the part where I'm like,
Save your stress for something more interesting. That's a 4.
So this still happens, right? You still bump into her. She still backs off, right? Because of getting freaked out by the fact that, like, she knows somebody else is invisible here, but doesn't know exactly where they are. You can still see her up to this point. But then there's the risky consequence. And the risky consequence is that I'm going to tick this clock, the 4-step one, the one of all the holo projectors exploding, twice.
Oof.
You make her nervous, but you make her nervous in such a way that her solution is, I have to do this faster.
Mm-hmm.
So, but she moved off of that one. I think she's now further from your target, and she's like on this one probably.
Okay. I don't think I'm going to resist that yet, and I would just say, all right, everybody, this is going really bad. Can I go up to the projector and like try to look at what she did?
Sure. I mean, I don't know. Are you good at that?
No, but I have something called. I was just looking at my gear, and I have something called a fine security cracker, a well-made toolkit used for. I guess it's just for locks.
No, you know what? I think that would help you access these things to like see what she's doing. What that would do is it'd give you great effect on the roll.
Cool.
Do you want to roll it? That would be an engineer.
But actually, I think I'd call into Laren and say, "Hey, Cap, you think I should try to disable whatever she's doing?"
Mm-hmm.
I can't promise it'll be great.
I think there's a pause as there's a little uncertainty. It's like, well, I mean, she's doing our work for us. Is that really a problem?
Looking around at all of the holograms, I think she might be doing a little bit more than just our work.
All right, shut it down then.
Okay.
I feel like Laren at this point trusts Azara's gut enough to be like, well, if Azara is like so deeply concerned about this, then okay, go for it.
Can I get your Azara beliefs real quick?
They are. Azara's useful, but this isn't their fight. I need to find a way to get them bought in. And Azara seems directionless. I could give him that direction.
I think normally Azara would be like, who cares? But the fact that she immediately went to another one suggests to me that this is... Because if something would just happen with just this hologram, she could just lure Logan suddenly over here and blow it up. But the fact that she went to another one makes me think, maybe she's not here just for Logan suddenly. And now I'm a little nervous that she's going to kill quite a lot of people.
Possible.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening to CalazCon. This episode was edited and sound balanced by Christine Blight. You can reach her for voice acting at CVBlight@gmail.com. The show's music is by Devin Nelson. You can find them on all social media at Devin Decibel. If you'd like to support CalazCon, you can find us on Patreon at patreon.com/CalazCon. Please tell your friends about the show too. Remember, all glory to Calazar.